Hello, it's Red, and today I'm going to be reading some r/MaliciousCompliance. Oh god, I promise I won't sing any more today, no. Okay, let's just get into the first story. I should let my wet t-shirt dry on a chair because I'm 5 minutes late? Okay, have fun with HR. Back in 2017, I was working at a call center for a telecommunications company. I was almost 3 years there, and the job had gone from okay to okay-ish to crappy in 6 months. The company did a lot of things that pissed off most of us and led to a few malicious compliances and revenges. In 6 months, we had 4 different managers and 10 shift managers. The second to last before I bolted was a real piece of crap. He was a racist, misogynistic, homophobic tyrant with a big ego. Let's call him Kevin. He was the kind of manager that would try to micromanage your call log, and if you didn't hit your dailies, he would shout at you. If you were late, you would have to work the same amount. If it was more than 10 minutes, you would be docked an hour of your pay. Then there was Mary. Mary was a good-looking woman in her late 30s with 20 years of experience in call centers and a no-nonsense attitude. As you may understand, Mary and Kevin didn't like each other very much. But the incident that got the ball rolling happened on Pride Week. Mary was wearing a pride shirt in support of her lesbian daughter. Kevin said a few sexist and homophobic things, and they almost came to physical blows. HR intervened, but that seemed to galvanize Kevin, and after that day, he tried to make her life difficult every day. I was working the first shift, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on a Friday of early July. The weather was good until 11:30 when it suddenly darkened and a heavy rain started falling. As the second shift, 12 to 8, started coming in, we noticed most of them were running a bit late. Heavy rain interfered with the traffic and wet to the bone. Most of them did a beeline to the bathroom to try and dry themselves with paper towels. Mary steps in at 12:05 looking like a drowned rat and starts to go to the bathroom to dry herself. Kevin notices her and stops her. The following very loud conversation followed.
Where do you think you're going?
To the bathroom to dry my t-shirt.
You're late. You can go to the bathroom during your break.
I'm soaking wet. I don't want to work in a wet shirt. I need to dry it down.
I don't give a crap. You're late. You have to start working.
But my shirt!
I do not care. You are late. You can let it dry on the chair while working.
Cue malicious compliance. Well, most of us were a bit stunned by this whole exchange. Mary walks purposefully to her station, fires up the app and removes her t-shirt, puts it on the back of the chair to dry. Now, Mary is a well-endowed woman, and sitting there wearing only her bra is attracting a lot of attention. She had calmly put her headset on and was already making a call. To HR. Kevin, being Kevin, is the last one to notice a half-naked woman making calls. He goes and stands menacingly behind her.
What the F do you think you're doing?
Mary was on the phone. I did exactly what he told me. No, I don't feel comfortable at all.
Answer me, you camel!
And pulls her headset off, unplugging in the process. The phones we use had a quirk. If the headset unplugs, it turns the speaker on the phone.
Did he just call you a camel?
Yes, he did.
Who the F are you?
HR will be there in a few minutes. Kevin lost all his colour as the speaker hung up. In about 10 minutes, HR arrived to find a properly cowed Kevin, Mary covering her legs with a beach towel, courtesy of a colleague who planned to visit the beach after the shift, and wearing a Man of War t-shirt while her own was still in the back of the chair, and a half-naked me. I provided the t-shirt. Before HR arrived, Mary had made one more call, to the union. After interviewing everybody, Mary and Kevin were allowed to go home. Kevin was fired after 2 days. The delay outraged the union, who caused a fuss, and the next time something happened, they came down like a megaton of bricks on the company. Mary had collected evidence, including this one, and when the company tried to fire her, she sued and won a nice settlement.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
I'm glad she sued. And he should have been fired that day. That is absolutely disgusting. Okay, here is our next story. So, you're the manager of my spare time now? I was employed at a small market radio station for many years a while back. I loved the actual work, but the people there were just terrible, particularly the manager in this story. She spent 7 years pretending we were friends, working up from sales to sales manager and eventually station manager. And then one day she decided to make my job a completely miserable experience. Holding station meetings without me, creating recording sessions without putting them on my schedule, ignoring my reports of tech issues so things never got fixed. It was ridiculous how little managing she actually did. Basically, there'd been a build-up of her crap leading to this story, and this was the first real time I put my foot down. Since we were a small staff and I was the employee with the most years, I had a lot of responsibilities. The easiest way of describing my job was I did everything except sell ads. Every day had the same main responsibilities, but minor changes kept each day different. Punch in at 8 a.m. and co-host the final hour of the morning show, answer the phones and the door all day, record ads and clients, edit shows, do the afternoon broadcast 1 to 5 p.m, pre-record the evening news block to air after I leave for the day. One day the morning show host decided we needed to talk about America's Got Talent. But by the time he had this great idea, auditions were already 3 shows in. I had never watched the show before because I absolutely hated reality TV, but I thought, what could it hurt? And I went home that night and watched the week episode 4. While it was entertaining, it was also an overly padded waste of time, but I did my homework and did the show the next morning and hyped it up like it was the greatest thing ever. Next week I forgot to watch. I go into work and the morning show host asked what I thought and I panicked for a second before telling him I didn't see it. Since I had about 20 minutes of morning news before I was live, I ran to my office and checked YouTube for a highlight reel, and there it was. An hour-long TV show whittled down to 15-minute video. Perfect. When it was done, I moved to the broadcast studio and did a great recap of last night's episode. Even the host, who watched the entire show, thought I did a great job keeping up with him. The 6th episode came around and this time I remembered it was on. But since I knew NBC was going to post highlights for me tomorrow, I opted to spend my free time on something that I actually wanted to do. The next morning, I go straight to the highlight reel and get caught up on every act that was important enough to talk about. Again, the show host thought I did a great job, but my manager didn't think it was good enough. She called me into her office and asked why I was purposely ignoring requests to watch the show. I asked her what difference does it make whether I watch the hour-long broadcast full of commercials and long-winded filler to stretch the runtime versus watching the highlight reel that has every high point and does the same job in 15 minutes. She said it makes a difference and wouldn't elaborate. She was always pulling the "I'm right, but I don't have to tell you why" crap. She then pointed out that next week was when judges began cutting acts and there was going to be episodes every Tuesday and Wednesday for the rest of the broadcast, and watching it was mandatory. How long are these episodes? I asked her. They're an hour each. And that's when I decided to put an end to this BS once and for all. So that's 2 hours of show prep each week. Do I mark that down on my timesheet as overtime, or am I expected to cut out at 3 p.m. on Fridays so I don't go over my scheduled 40 hours? My manager's eyes bugged out like she never once expected me to demand payment for dictating how I spend my time outside of the office. I just stood there waiting to see if I was going to be making extra money or getting an early start to the weekend. Suddenly that 15-minute highlight reel during regular paid office hours was good enough. Funny how that works, eh? Good on you for calling her out. That is absolutely ridiculous to expect someone to do. I hope you liked those r/malicious compliance stories. Read by me, Red. Please give the video a like and don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell notification button thingy as well, so that you get notified every time I publish a video, which is daily, in case you didn't know that. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye!